Yes. Okay. All right, everyone. Sit erect. So let me tell you one thing very clearly, that today's lecture would be on YouTube as well as on the app, for the simple reason that bulky, because of which many of the students were not able to join in today's class. Is that okay? So before we start any further lecture, I want you all to sit erect and show me your beautiful, what I said, beautiful face, beautiful teeth, whatever it is. All right, beautiful smile. Can we have that? Yay! All right, a very warm good afternoon to everyone. Let's start with our story. Yesterday I was talking about what? Cash book. Do you remember that?
Yes.
In the cash book, I have already explained you something called as, triple column cash book. Do you remember that?
Yes.
In the triple column cash book, I explained you that there is cash, bank and discount column. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So when I further moved on, I tried explaining you that, please understand that the institute is expecting something in case of triple column cash book, that whenever you receive a check, you will first keep it in the cash box and then you will deposit later on. So whenever the check is received, you first treat it as a receipt of cash. And whenever you deposit it into the bank, you say that I have deposited what? Cash in the bank. Do you all agree?
Yes.
So can I show you this particular stuff? Listen to me. So write down the heading Contra Transaction. Now you'll understand slow and steadily everything. So first write down the heading Contra Transaction. So any transaction which is between cash and bank column, or rather the debit side and the credit side of the posting happens in the same account, it is called as Contra Transaction. If the debit effect and the credit effect happens in the same account, then we call it as what? Contra Transaction, because we cannot put anything in the ledger folio. I don't have any page number. So how do I explain you this? Please see. Suppose cash deposited in bank. Cash deposited in bank. So if you see cash book, please, no hurry, please check. So if you see cash book, everyone. So now I have got cash, bank, discount. And again on the credit side, I have got cash, bank and discount. Agreed?
Yes.
Please check. When I say this is the receipt side, debit side is the receipt and credit side is the payment side. So when I am saying cash deposited in bank rupees 20,000, please understand that I am having a cash box. Cash box. From the cash box, I have deposited the money in the bank. Yes or no? So when I have deposited in the bank, where is the receipt? Receipt is in my bank account. Where are the receipt? Receipts are in my bank account. So can I not say to cash count, in the bank column I will write down 20,000. Do you all agree? If you understand it carefully, what I am doing is, I am saying I have received money in bank. But in the bank account I cannot write down the name of bank, I will have to write down the name of cash. You must have seen this in ledger account. I don't write down the name of the same account in the same, in the same ledger I cannot write down the name of the same account. So in the cash account, can I write down the name of cash? No. In the bank account, can I write down the name of bank? No. So if you understand, this is a bank account. The bank column stands for what? Bank account. And in the bank account, I write down what? To cash. So what I am saying, in bank, the balance increased because of cash. Say yes. Similarly, dear students, on the credit hand side, I will write down I have paid from my cash box. Yes or no? From my cash box I paid. So can I not say by bank? And in the cash, I will write down 20,000. So cash is paid. What did you realize here? Debit effect is in the cash book. Credit effect is also in the cash book. So I don't have to go in some other account here. See, I am going in other account, I understand, in the column format, but am I going on some other page? No. So if somebody wants to check this entry, second effect of this, where he is going to check? Which page number? How do I refer it? Because in the ledger folio, what you used to write down? You used to write down the page number, 45. Now what am I going to write down here? So I am just trying to explain that both the effects are on the same page. Please check it up. And that's the reason you call it as what? See, contra. Have you all understood what is contra? So contra was derived for this reason that you cannot give a cross reference of it to the next page. Yes or no? So we write down what? C, that stands for what? Contra transaction. Similarly, cash withdrawn from bank. Cash withdrawn from bank, rupees 9,000. Can I expect an answer? You tell me cash withdrawn from bank. So where it is coming? It is coming in my cash box. Rehani. So it is coming. So where is the receipt? Receipt is in the cash column. So in the cash column, I'll write down 9,000. Receipt in the cash column now. I have withdrawn. I put a bit in the cash box. So my receipt is in the cash column. But what will I write down in the cash column? Will I write down cash or bank? Bank. So I write down to bank account. Good. And what do I do on the credit hand side where the payment has happened from? Bank column. So can I not write down 9,000? And here I'll write down by cash account. Agreed? Yes. Dear students, let's understand one more stuff which is very important. Can I ask you, cash withdrawn from bank for personal use. Cash withdrawn from bank for personal use. What is the entry? Drawings to bank. Cash withdrawn from bank for personal use. So I have withdrawn money for personal use. What is the entry? Drawings to bank. Do you think so? Drawings would be a separate account? And one effect would be in the cash book and one effect would be in drawings account. So is it a contra transaction? No. So boys and girls, some of the students get confused that withdrawal of money for personal use, right, or introduction of capital in bank is not a contra transaction. In contra, it is mandatory that the debit and credit effect should happen on the same page. So what could be such transaction? Cash withdrawn for official use, cash deposited, right, into the official bank account. The third area could be when there are two bank accounts. So Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India. If I say withdrew from Bank of Maharashtra and deposited in Bank of India, do you understand? Now this is a contra because the effects are going in the same page. Do you all understand what is the contra? When the debit effect and the credit effect happens on the same page, it is called as contra. Happy? So write down contra transaction. Heading. Aaja sanam madhur chandni mein hum. Khara? Are we ready? Be quick. Okay, Betu? Good. Let's start. I always wanted to be in my school band. Unfortunately, never got an admission there. But I learned those rhythms and I used to play it in my classroom in my school days. I still continue doing that. I don't know for what reason. I have got a lot of attraction towards the drum. Never played though. So always do whatever you want to do at the right age. Because now I can afford, but I don't have time, right? And it becomes difficult. So whatever you want to do at the right time, get it done. Because I am fond of drums. I don't know for what reason. But this is one thing which is not fulfilled as of yet. I'll see if I can fulfill it now. Let's go on. Are we ready? Yes. So now the second aspect of the story which I am going to tell you is, now understand, boys and girls, please, 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 please. Now there are two types of checks. One is a bearer check and the other one is a account pay or a cross check. Now what is a bearer check? Bearer check means whoever will get it, it will belong to him. So for bearer check, you can go on the counter of the bank and ask for the cash. But for account pay check, bank is only going to make you the payment in your account. Do you know, Government of India introduced a scheme called as DTA, direct to account. Have you heard about this? Direct to account. That means they did not pay you cash. Why? Because earlier what people used to do, they used to withdraw the cash. They used to withdraw the cash, right? So for example, she is not even existing, but they will withdraw her cash and they will sign on her behalf. They will put the thumbprint on her behalf. So now what is happening is, government is not giving money to the agent or any agency. They are directly giving the money into the beneficiary's account. Direct to beneficiary's account. Yes or no? So now they are transferring it to the beneficiary account. Now what does that mean? The beneficiary has to go to the bank and have to withdraw that money. But earlier what these people used to do is, they used to underpay them. Or if not paid under, they used to, debit any number of expenses or any amount of expenses for the people who are not existing. Are you getting my point? So that is the reason this kind of stuff was introduced. So now in the same logic, you need to understand, there are some checks which you can go in the bank. Whoever can go with that check will get the money. That is a bearer check. And then there is an account pay check. Account pay check, for example, you get my check. You still can't do anything with it, because even if you go and deposit that check in the bank, it will get credited to me only. Unless and until you open an account with the name of ANANDH BHANGGRIYA. Karta hai kya? So I am just trying to say, account pay check, you don't get the money immediately. You have to first deposit it in the account. It will get cleared in your account and then you can withdraw the money. Have you understood? So I am saying there is a concept called as bearer check. And then there is another concept which is called as account pay check. Agreed? Now boys and girls, this can be directly encashed over the counter. Directly encashed over the counter. And account pay check, this can be cleared only in what? Account. This can be cleared only in account. Do you all agree? Now let me explain you this further. A bearer check can be endorsed. A bearer check can be endorsed. Now you don't know what is endorsement means. So what happened was, it is me, ANANDH BHANGGRIYA. Okay. And here is Champa. Okay. I was supposed to pay Champa ₹4,000. So I was supposed to pay. This was payable by me. So one day Champa came to me and told me, Anand, you need to pay me ₹4,000. I said, I don't have. I don't have cash. Is that okay? So she saw a piece of paper which was a check lying in my pocket. So she withdrew it. And there it was not crossed. It was not account pay. You know what is a cross check? Cross check looks like this. Here, you cross it. Now what is a bearer check? Bearer check won't have any cross lines and all. Okay, so she saw a check which bore my name or which was written bearer, whatever. So now boys and girls, Champa said me, give me this check. Say yes. Yes. Dhampude samjhe kya? So Champa said, give me this check. So what am I doing? I am not giving her cash. I am endorsing a check in her favor. What am I doing? I am endorsing a check in her favor. So I am saying to the bank, Rather than paying Anand, you pay her. Say yes. Everyone is clear with this? So what is this? This is endorsement. Shall I explain you in little more detail? How does it go? Okay. Please understand, in case of an endorsement, you first receive a check. Now when you receive a check, there are two entries possibly you can do. Please now focus, focus. When you receive a check, there are two entries which you can do. First entry is, you will say bank to, let's take an example, I received check from Aishwarya. I know tum jaloge, but she is my friend. 9,000. So I received a check from Aishwarya, 9,000. So I said, bank to Aishwarya, agreed. I can also make an alternative entry, cash to Aishwarya. Comes a question why? Because if you remember, I said, whenever you receive a check, you put it into the cash box, and that is the reason I can use cash. Now I know in your 11th, 12th you studied it should be bank to Aishwarya. I know it. I am not dumb. I understand that. But you need to understand from institute's point of view also that whenever a check is received, sometimes it is treated in the cash column because it is kept in the cash box for a few days and then it is deposited. Say yes or no. So you make an entry cash to Aishwarya. Now if Champa comes, what should I do? I should give her the check or I should give Aishwarya to her? Check. I cannot give Aishwarya, right? I cannot endorse Aishwarya to Champa. I'll have to give what? Cash. Or I'll have to give what? Cash rather. I will have to give what? Check. So beta ji, when I received a check, if I have routed the entry through bank, I'll have to reverse that entry only. So what entry I am going to do for endorsement? Champa to bank. Don't write Champa to Aishwarya. Hopeless. You cannot give Aishwarya to Champa. Yes or no? What are you going to give? Is check. But when check came up, you wrote what? Bank. But suppose you wrote cash, what are you going to give to Champa? You are going to make the entry Champa to cash 9,000, 9,000. Do you all understand? So the simple common sense is, what have you treated it earlier? If you have treated it bank, credit bank. If you have treated it cash, credit cash. Say yes. What is that? Endorsement. And what happens in case of an endorsement, boys and girls? Whatever you have received a check, rather than you depositing in your bank account, you give it to somebody else. That is called as endorsement. Why are you giving it to somebody else? So that you can settle your account with that person. Yes or no? Yes. Have you all understood what is endorsement? Very good. So this is endorsement. So beta ji, can I say bearer check? Have you all understood? Now this won't be required. I just explain you which check can be endorsed. So bearer check can be endorsed. Account pay check can never be endorsed. Because account pay check will only get cleared in the account to which it belongs. Yes or no? So beta ji, account pay check cannot be endorsed. But can a bearer check be endorsed? Yes. It can be endorsed. So endorsed is when you give your check to somebody else in order to settle the account. Now when I said that I received first check from whom? Aishwarya, I had two options to make an entry as per module. This is actually a bakwas entry, but still I have to teach you. Because just because module has asked me to do that. So the first entry, which is correct, which you have learnt in 11th, 12th, the entry is bank to Aishwarya. Alternative entry could be cash to Aishwarya. Then my dear friend, when I am endorsing, my entry would be Champa to bank or Champa to cash. Now why it is differing? It is differing on the basis of what you have used earlier. Say yes. Yes. Have you all understood? Yes. Do you want to write down endorsement? Yes. No? You will have to write. You are from which board? CBSE board. Okay. I know it's very easy, but kar lo. तू कुठली बोर्ड? HSC. बिंदास सगळेच पास झाले हा. वो बाहर है ना, इंजेक्शन लेकर बैठे बेल का. समझा ना? बैला बोलू नको, त्यामुळे सांगतोय तुला. लिख नालायक। कितना अच्छा लगा ना, सर मेरा नाम बोल रहे नालायक। मतलब आज सर ने पहचान ही लिया, बोले खुश हो गई। क्या हो बेटा, बोल काय झालंय? कुठला शब्द? क्लिअर्ड. बोंबलला. ह्या डायरेक्टली एनकॅश्ड ओव्हर द काउंटर, अकाउंट पेई चेक, क्लिअर्ड ओनली इन अकाउंट, कॅनॉट बी एंडोर्स्ड, बियरर चेक. हाँ, ट्रांजैक्शन भी लिखना है. हाँ बेटा, फाउंडेशन के बच्चे बड़े नादान मस्त होते हैं, उनके क्वेश्चन कितने भूले होते हैं. सर ये भी लिखना है, फिर नेक्स्ट बेस्ट क्वेश्चन कहाँ लिखना है? मतलब बेंच पर लिख, दीवारों पर लिख, है ना. हाँ, नेक्स्ट थर्ड रिक्वायरमेंट, ऊपर करो, स्क्रॉल करो, मतलब ये नहीं, ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाता है. और फिर तीसरा बच्चा कोई तो हंसेगा, उसको कुछ भलता समझा रहता है. मतलब जिंदगी में इतनी झंड जिंदगी है ना, ये सोच सोच के खुश हो रहा है. तुला काय कळालं बाई? तुला येड लागलंय, वेड लागलंय. तुझे एक बात सजेशन दूं क्या? तू ज़बरदस्ती सीरियस हुआ मत कर, तू है नहीं सीरियस. तू बड़ी नालायक है. तू जो दिखाती है ना, तू है नहीं. मैं समझ गया हूँ तेरे बारे में. ऐसा दिखाने की कोशिश करती, सर मैं बहुत सिंसियर हूँ, ये वो. महानालायक है तू, महानालायक. तुम्हें पता है एक बार क्या हुआ? सो आई वेंट टू अ कॉमेडी शो एंड दिस वॉज एन एडल्ट कॉमेडी शो. So सुन ना, नहीं, so I had never had a problem. I mean, I go for those kind of a comedy show. So this comedy show was a show which was conducted by this guy. I'll tell you why. It was conducted by I don't remember his name. He's very famous. Very famous. No, Zakir is okay. I mean, I don't. Gaurav Kapoor was there once. So now I don't know who said they were there in the Phoenix Mall and who said what. So then there was a couple who came along with their in-laws. अंडरस्टैंड इन लॉज? सास, ससुर, बेटा और उसकी बाइडी न्यूली गॉट मैरिड एंड दे केम इनटू दैट शो एंड केम इनटू द शो एंड ही स्टार्टेड क्रैकिंग द एडल्ट जोक्स. भाई साहब, दे वर सिटिंग जस्ट बिसाइड्स मी एंड द सिचुएशन वॉज वेरी बैड बिकॉज ससुर जी वॉज लाफिंग लाइक दिस. I mean, you could understand he's laughing just because his shoulders were moving. He had to keep his. ये पूरा दबा के रखना पड़ रहा था ऐसा, समझे? You are one of them. इस क्लास में है कुछ बच्चे फिर दबा के स्टेप. चले भी आगे. So now, boys and girls, we have already understood what. सर फैन बंद कर दो. ये कौन है भैया? कौन है ये? मैक्स 10 कौन है? मैक्स 10. हे, मोबाइल चेक कर सबका, किसका मैक्स 10 के नाम से वो पकड़ उसको. मत डाल, गलती हो गई मेरे से. रहने दे, नहीं बताएंगे, कमीने बच्चे अभी. छोड़ ना, तू क्यों परेशान हो रहा है? जो करेगा उसकी शादी नहीं होगी. भगवान, मैंने प्रार्थना कर ली. नाउ कैन वी नाउ go ahead and talk about the next part of the story. It's very beautiful. So we have already understood what is endorsed. We have already understood what I can say contra entry. Now I am going to explain you the third entry. Now this third entry will involve something called as a dishonor of check. Now check can be dishonored for multiple reasons. There is no balance in the account. The sign doesn't match. There is scratches. There is overwriting. The date does not match. The name of the account holder does not match. For whatever reason, the check can get dishonored. So two types of check can get dishonored. So for example, if I have issued check, what did I say? Issued check. So which side I am going to write down issued check? On the credit side. So you have got cash, bank column. Say yes. So I will write down cash, bank, cash, bank. So when I paid, so I will write down by Nalayak. I have issued him the check. I will say 5,000. Agreed? So I paid to the Nalayak. How much rupees? 5,000 via my bank. Now this check gets dishonored. Now the check gets dishonored. So can I not say just to reverse the entry to Nalayak in the bank 5,000? Now this is not a transaction. You are just reversing the entry when it is dishonored. Is that okay? So when the check gets dishonored, you just simply reverse the entry. When you have issued the check, you write it always in the bank column. When you receive check, you can write it in the cash column. Say yes. So when you receive check, you can write in the cash column. But when you have issued, when you write a check, when you make a payment, always bank column. Yes or no? Yes. Have you all understood? Why bank column? Because when I have issued whatever check it is, the amount is always going to get deducted from my bank. It will never get deducted from my cash. Cash box में से नहीं जाएगा. Similarly, boys and girls, when I have received a check, let's take an example. I received a check from an idiot. I received a check from idiot. Suppose I write it in the cash column or write it in the bank column. Let's take an example. I have wrote it in the bank column. Now when I say that the check is dishonored, I will write again in the bank column that the check got dishonored. Yes or no? Yes. So this is the entry of dishonor. Do you understand the flow now? Agreed? So this is the dishonor. Dishonor ke case mein you just simply reverse the entry. Is that okay? Can you please write it down? This is the dishonor of the check. Now bank can have two balances. One is a debit balance and a credit balance. Debit balance is a favorable balance. Credit balance is an OD balance. I will also talk about that. Cash can only have debit balance. It cannot have credit balance. Okay? Write it down. This is a issued check. Dishonor. Dishonored. And the second wording is check deposited and it got dishonored. Check issued got dishonored and check deposited got dishonored. Are we going ahead? Yes. Makad. Shall we? कितना फास्ट लिखती है? Thank you, Sumit. Thank you so much. God bless you. All the best. Study well, beta. Tom Raj. Very good, very good. This check by idiot can't be valid because idiot person can come under unsound mind. So, yeah. A big salute, sir. Big salute, okay? But then, idiot is the name. So, shall I write down the name of the person? Tom Raj. I'm sorry. Tom Raj. मैंने लिख दिया अबे भाई अनसाउंड माइंड है तो क्या करेंगे? सो आई हैव टू राइट डाउन अ नेम ऑफ द पर्सन हु इज सेइंग ही इज ऑफ अनसाउंड माइंड. ठीक है, सुना अभी अगली मजा कर रहा था रे तमाम, जैसे तूने मजे लिए मैंने मजे ले लिए. ओके, डोंट टेक इट सीरियसली. शैल वी गो अहेड नाउ? Now we are going to talk about something really interesting. Boys and girls, bank can have both the balances. It can have debit balance as well as credit balance. So now let's understand, bank is a real account, personal account, nominal account, what? एक खिला लेने का, right? जूते नहीं पहनने के. Don't wear shoes. Take one nail, big one. Take one हथौड़ा. and start hitting your leg with that hathoda, and on the top of that you should keep that nail there. वो लाइकी है तुम्हारी, मेरा बस चले ना वो करूँ तुम्हारे साथ. 3 अकाउंट थे बे स्टाइल, तीनों के नाम बता दिए. एक नॉमिनल बोल रहा है, एक रियल बोल रहा है, एक पर्सनल बोल रहा है, और कुछ बच्चों ने सही आंसर दिए, फिर बोल रहे हैं कि नो सर इट इज रियल. होपलेस. So can I not say that bank will have a debit balance and bank is a personal account? If you remember, it is an artificial personal account. SBI Bank, ICICI Bank, Bank of Baroda. These are personal account. So if you remember, a personal account will have two balances, either debit or credit. When it is debit balance, it means, when it has got debit balance, it means money is receivable. And when it is having a credit balance means money is payable. A personal account, debtors, has got which balance? Debit balance. So when the bank asset has got which balance? So bank, when it is having a debit balance, that means it is receivable. But when bank has got a credit balance, that means it is payable. Now some of the students are very sharp or smart. They do sharp. Okay, they will ask me, sir, but when I get the message from bank, when I deposit money, they say it is credited. And you said credited means payment. Are hopeless, that is there in the bank books. So when I say it is debited in my books, bank will say it is credited in their book, because for them it is their liability. For them it is what? Liability. For you it is what? Asset. Yes or no? So they will not make entry in your books. Come on. Will they make entry in your books? No. So they are talking what happened in their books. Yes or no? So whatever you study in the bank statement, credited, debited, they are talking from their point of view. Is that okay? So don't compare it here. Hey, झेपला का काय बोललो ते? काय? I love you. बराबर बोला एकदम. So in the bank, it is credited, but in our books, it is debited. Any which ways, when bank is a personal account and it has got a debit balance, so it is an asset or it is a personal account. Say yes. So it will be what? Debit balance. And sometimes it will have a credit balance. That means it is an OD. Overdraft. Overdraft means you have withdrawn more, you have taken a loan. Agreed? And when I am saying debit balance, so that means it is an asset. It is not old, ma'am. It is OD. ओवरड्राफ्ट. हाँ, नहीं तो वापिस पूछेगी, ओल्ड नहीं है, ओडी, ओवरड्राफ्ट. So can I say when I draw a bank account, opening balance I will write down 2 balance brought down. Say yes. Closing balance I am going to write down credit side, by balance carried down. Have you understood? Please understand, this is opening balance, this is closing balance, C for closing. Agreed? Closing balance is written on the opposite side. It is not a credit balance, it is still a debit balance. And when I am writing down on the credit side, by balance brought down. Agreed? This is OD. And OD will be written on the debit hand side, to balance carried down. This is also OD, OD. Do you want to write it down or you will be aware? Sure, na? Yes. How many of you want to write? Yeah, so write. Everyone is going to write, huh? रिया गुप्ता पर्सनल अकाउंट. सर डेबिट क्यों होता है? मैक्स टाइम ले रे मजे, तेरा टाइम है, ले मजे. बस बुरा इस बात का लग रहा है कि तेरा नाम लड़के का, फिर भी मजे ले रहा है तू. मैक्स टैन. वैसे एमसी मतलब क्या होता है? मुझे नहीं पता बेटा, उसने लिखा है नाम. सो स्टैन तो ठीक है, मैं समझ रहा था. हो गया? हुआ तो नहीं है तेरा? मेरे को एक बार बुक देखने की है. You want to score good in your life? Yes or no? I want you to improve your handwriting. Promise? Write it properly. You're not writing it properly. Sir, MC Stan is a rapper and MC is Michael Kloster hota hai. I'm sorry, but I understand something else. I'm genuinely sorry. I mean, he must be a great person, but I haven't heard his name, na? So I'm so sorry for that. He is a famous rapper from Mumbai. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. पुण्याचा है? होगा, अभी मेरे को नहीं दिमाग लगाना, क्यों ना मैं जानता हूँ ना करता हूँ. चले, it's time now that we go ahead and talk about the next part of the story. Hey Rasgullo, listen to me carefully. We are now gonna solve a problem which is problem number, I think we have already done 1, 2. We haven't done question number 3. So please come down to the question number 3. We are gonna solve question number 3 now. This is unit 1, na? Enter the following transaction in the cash book with cash, with discount and bank column. Check are first treated as cash receipt. Now Chandrika commences business with cash. I want you all to make the entry for me. I am not getting the entry. Cash to Chandrika's capital. Yes or no? Cash to Chandrika's capital. He paid into his current account. He paid into his current account. What is the entry? Bank to cash. Beta, paid into his current account means what? Current account is a bank account. So there are various types of bank account. One is a savings bank account. One is a current account. Yes or no? So please understand that when I am saying that he paid into the current account, he paid what? Cash. So first he got the cash into the business, and then what he did? He deposited the cash into the bank. Next, he received check from Kirti and Company on account. Please listen to me. On 4th he received the check. Everyone, on 4th he received the check. Gulab ke phool, dekh. He received check from Kirti, and then what he did? He pays in bank Kirti Company's check. Do you understand? So on 4th he received check, and on 7th he deposited the check into the bank. So my first entry here would be cash to Kirti. Beta ji, I know you haven't studied this in your foundation, 11th, 12th. There you used to make the entry bank to Kirti directly, but now you are going to make the entry cash to Kirti, and then you don't put Kirti in the bank. You put what? Cash in the bank. So it will become bank to cash, because earlier I treated whatever is the check received as cash. So cash to Kirti and bank to cash. Bank to cash will be contra. Good. Achhe sando. He pays Ratan and Company. He pays Ratan and Company by check and is allowed discount of rupees 20. Please understand, whenever I make the payment by check, always I have to use the word bank. Because whenever I am going to make the payment by a check, the amount is going to go out of my bank account, not the cash account. Say yes. Yes. So if you see, he pays Ratan and Company by check and is allowed discount of 20. So can I not say Ratan and Company? How much? 330. Say yes. Yes. Then I will say discount 20 to. Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I'm feeling very bad. Ratan and Company to bank. 330 and to discount 20. Have you heard that song? कौन सा? तू जहाँ जहाँ रहेगा, नहीं मेरा साया, तू जहाँ जहाँ रहेगा मेरा साया. Fast में sir. So I am asking you, if bank is credited, discount is always credited. If bank is debited, discount is also debited. Discount and bank will be together. Okay. So bank will be debited when you receive money. Bank will be credited when you pay money. So can I not say, here what have we done? We have paid to Ratan. So we credited bank, and bank I credited only with 330. We received discount of how much? 20. So I said Ratan and company to bank to discount. Do you all agree? Yes. So we have understood 10th transaction only also. Tripathi and company pays into his bank 475. Now what he will pay into his bank? Water. Cash. So this is a contra entry. Are common sense lagana. Bank mein what are you going to pay? Cash. So can I not say my entry is bank to cash? Say yes. Yes. Everyone agrees with this? Because when he says Tripathi and company, oh I am so sorry, Tripathi and company, na, we are who? We are Chandrika. I'm sorry, this entry has gone wrong. Now Tripathi and company is like what? How many of you made online payment to SPC? How many of you paid online payment from your place, from your city? So where did you pay it from? Mumbai? Sangli. So when you paid from Sangli, what's your name beta? Sakshi. So can I not say Sakshi pays into the bank account? Whose bank account? My bank account. So Sakshi paid into SPC bank account. So I will make an entry bank to Sakshi. I'm genuinely sorry. I just forgot to understand that Tripathi is who? We are not Tripathi. We are what? Chandrika. Yes or no? We are Chandrika, na? Yes. They are saying Tripathi and company pays into his bank account. Now it should not be he is into her bank account hona chahiye, but theek hai. It should be paid into her bank account, na? So who paid? Tripathi. Now who is a Tripathi? He might be our customer. Similarly, you received some money from the government. So what is the entry you are going to make? Bank to government grant, bank to scholarship. Yes or no? Yes. Similarly, if you deposited the money, so I will make an entry bank to Sakshi. In the similar case, in Chandrika's bank account, who deposited the money? Tripathi. So my entry is bank to Tripathi. Have you all understood? Yes. So it is bank to Tripathi. Bank to Tripathi. Now next, he receives check from Varsi. He receives check from Varsi and allows him discount 35. So can I क्या था वो? ठीक है. तो डायरेक्ट स्कूल से इधर आई ना? नहीं क्या? He receives check from Varsi and allows him discount rupees 35. So when you receive a check, what do you treat? Cash, bank, what? Cash. So can I not write down cash? Cash. How much? How much I have received the check? 450. How much bolo na? I received a check of how much? Cash. 415 na? No, he receives check 450. So I'll write down 450. Agreed? Yes. And then what I'll write down? Discount. How much? 35. And to what? Varsi. I'll write down 485. Say yes. Yes. I received check how much? 450. So what did I treat? Cash. Whenever I make the payment, I will also always use the word bank. Whenever I receive the check, I will treat it as cash. I'll repeat. Whenever I pay with the check, I treat it as bank. Whenever I receive a check, I treat it with cash. Because here in the institute's material, they say that whenever you receive a check, you first treat it as a cash. Now I see some of the students, they must be wondering, sir, why are you asking us to make the entries right now here? See, understand. We are not expected to make the entries in the exam. Entries is not a part of an answer. Those who have done 11th, 12th, you all are well aware, confirmed that when you were taught cash book, entries were not taught to you. You were directly made to do the cash book. I am teaching you the entry because slow and steadily it will make a background for you in future. So entry is not very important, or it's not required in the exam for cash book. You will never ever be asked to make an entry for cash book. Why am I teaching you the entries? Because you should be very thorough with the entries. Accounts bole to entries. That is the reason we are going into the entries. Otherwise, why would I have wasted the time? I could have directly shown you this is how you have to do it. I was able to solve more than 5 problems right now. But still I am going into the entries. So please understand what is the right way of studying is you should know the journal entries. The more you are powerful in the journal entries, the more powerful you will become for the future. So now you have got a one question, sir, but I have not understood all the journal entries clearly. That's okay. But you are progressing. That is sufficient. I don't want you to know each and every journal entry immediately right now. Even if you have understood one, it is a progress. I believe in progress, however slow it is. Is that okay? So journal entry is not a part of this answer, but still I am doing a journal entry and I will keep on doing it so that you develop how a knack to make the journal entries. Is that okay? Let's go ahead. He receives cash 75 and check 100 for cash sale. So he received what? Cash of 75 and check of 100 for cash sale. So can I not make an entry cash to sales 175? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me why am I writing down the word cash? Because check is also treated as what? Cash. So if you see, I received a check from Varsi. I received a check from Varsi and it was how much? 450. And I received a cash from sale of what? Cash sale, and I received how much? 175. Now the interesting point is, he pays into the bank including check received on 15th and 20th 1000. How come I received only 450 plus 175? So where did you get this further? So he said he pays into the bank including check. So if I ask you, I went to the trip including my mom, means what? Including mom means mom was there. I went to the trip with many others including mom. There were many others and mom. So when they are saying he pays into the bank including check received on 15th and 20th. So that does not mean that he has deposited only what I have received on 15th and 20th. 15th and 20th is included. There can be many others also. So he is depositing how much? 1000. But how much I received from Varsi? 450. How much I received for sale of goods? 175. So some of the students get confused. But how come he is depositing 1000? He has only received how much? 6. No. Huh? Array 625. Alright, now cash and this check both together. So I have received only 625. How come he is depositing 1000? So he is depositing 1000 because he must have added some more money. Say yes or no? Yes. So the word including says that only check is not deposited, cash is also deposited. Say yes or no? Yes. Let's go on. He pays by check for cash purchases. My entry is purchases to bank. Say yes. Yes. Why bank? Because whenever I pay by check, I have to use the word bank. He pays for sundry expenses in cash and the entry is sundry expense to cash. Do you all agree? Yes. So can we now go ahead and start solving the question? Here we go. So write down the question number 4th. 3? Okay, 3. Write down question number 3. It's very simple. Shall I go ahead? Google, क्या है रे? कितनी बिजी रहती है? हाँ. You wanna start a beauty parlor? Hair stylist? दिन भर बालों को करते हो. 2 मुंह है बाल. कितनी बड़ी परेशानी है लड़कियों की. कैश बुक. हाँ भाई, ऑनलाइन लाइव. Which column I have to make before what? You tell me. Otherwise you will start saying me, sir, this column has to be done first. So then I'll ask you in the circle, which side do you make first? So I'll write down date, particulars. I can write down discount, cash, bank, date, particulars की जगह पे हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? Receipts. And date, payment, discount, cash and bank. What is the discount on the debit side is allowed. What is the discount on the credit side is received. Have you all written the entries with you? Whenever I write down the entries, you should write it down in the rough in your notebook. So what is the first one? Chandrika commences business with cash. Okay. Be quick, be fast, draw the format. I am waiting. Don't be slow here. गरीब जनता है, एक स्केल है. ये है ना गरीब तेरे बाजू में बैठी हुई. हाँ, फिर तो हंस क्यों रही ऐसे पागल जैसे? इसका क्या हुआ? फिर बनाया. गुड. ये कौन बोला? पर क्वेश्चन में क्या बोला? तू कधी म्हणली लग्नाला या पंडितजी आणि नवऱ्याला घेऊन, मग तू नाही जाणार का? येडी कुठनं आली आहे बाई? शी इज आस्किंग सर वेयर इट इज सेड दैट यू हैव टू क्रिएट अ कैश कॉलम. बस जाते वक्त तेरे चरण पादुका देके जाना, इधर रखेंगे हम. नाउ द फर्स्ट डेट माय डियर फ्रेंड, Jan 1. I'll write down to capital. But if you remember, I made an entry what? Cash to capital. So in the cash column debit side, I am writing down to capital. Do you understand now? I am doing actually the posting. So my entry was cash to capital. So in the cash column beta, I am writing down how much? Chandrika's capital 20,000. Did you watch that lecture, Betu? Hey Rasgulli. Did you watch the lectures? You watched? Huh? Okay. How many of you are watching? वो दूसरा साइंस वाला कहाँ गया? वो भाग गया. 2-3 दिन से नहीं दिख रहा है ना वो? नहीं, वो बता के गया था मुझे. सॉरी, मैं बोला अबे पागल येड़े मत जा, बड़ा वो चला गया. Because I think he had some exams. He paid into the current account. What was the entry you made? Bank to cash. Can I not say, I'll write down 3rd Jan 3 to bank. Hey, chup. To cash. To cash, na? Yes. Because he paid into the current account. In the bank column, I'll write down 19,000. Do you realize this? Yes. So I am saying in the bank there is a receipt from cash. And on the credit side, I'll write down Jan 3. I'll write down by bank. And I'll say that my cash has gone to the extent of 19,000. So I paid cash into what? Bank. Do you all agree? So tick mark Jan 1, tick mark Jan 3. Now, 4th, he received check from Kirti and company on account. Can I expect an entry from you people? Cash to Kirti. I am proud of you people. Cash to Kirti. So can I not say 4th Jan 4 to Kirti? To Kirti and company. In the cash column, I will write down how much? 600. Okay? Now, Gudiya and Gundo, mere nalai ko rasgullo, please tell me, where did I write the check received? In which column? Cash. So now I am going to deposit it into the bank. So the money is not going to be there in the cash column. It is going to go into what? Bank column. So can I not say it is going to become a contra entry? Yes. Because I am depositing the check into the bank. Read the next line. He says, he pays in bank Kirti's company's check. So how do I write down, beta ji? So on Jan 7, beta please focus. Let me explain you. Where is the deposit coming? In the bank or cash? I am not able to hear it. It's common sense. Where is the money going to get deposited? Bank or cash? Bank. So can I not say in the bank column 600? Yes. So on the receipt I wrote bank. But my dear friend, please tell me, in the bank column I wrote 600. In the bank column, can I write down the name of bank? No. I write down to cash. So I said I deposited cash. But actually it is not a deposit of cash. The earlier check was shown as cash. So whenever I deposit it, I am going to route it through what? Cash only. Have you all understood? Similarly, where is the check going from? Check going from where? Cash, na? So I'll say cash has gone. And where it has gone? Jan 7 by bank. Is that okay? 600. Do you all agree? Yes. So this you should write down contra. Earlier I just forgot to write down the contra. You should write down contra. Please highlight this transaction. 600, 600. Please highlight this transaction. हाइलाइटर दे उसको. दिए क्या हाइलाइटर? Shall we go ahead now? Now please read the next item. He pays Ratan and company by check and is allowed discount 20. Did you write down the entry? Yes. Which side I should go? Debit or credit side? Which side I should go? Debit or credit side? I should go to the credit side. What will I write down? Boys and girls, the date is what? 10th. Jan 10th, na? Jan 10th, I'll write down by Ratan and company. And you tell me, in the bank column, I'll write down 330 because whenever you make the payment, always bank column via check. And I will write down 20 where? Discount. Very good. I'm proud of you people. Read the next line. Tripathi and company pays into his bank account. Can I get the entry? This was a critical entry because Tripathi and company is a third party, maybe our customer, and he deposited in our bank account. So my entry is bank to Tripathi and company. So can I not say on the debit hand side, I'll come in here and I'll write down 12 Jan to Tripathi and company. In which column? Bank column. How much I'll write down? 475. Go ahead next. He receives check from Varsi and allows him discount. Now where do I write down? Can you please give me the entry? Cash discount to Varsi. Cash discount to Varsi. So can I not write down on 15th Jan? I'll write down to Varsi. Which column? Cash column. How much will I write down? 450. And discount how much? 35. Happy? Lovely people. Lovely Rasgulla and Rasgulli. Can we read it further? He receives cash rupees 75 and check 100 for cash sale. Now, even if you have received cash, it would be cash. Even if you have received check, we'll treat it as what? Cash. So, my entry would be a single entry. Cash to sale, yes or no? Because when I received cash, I will use cash. But when I have received check also, I am going to use the word cash. So can I not say the date is how much? 20th Jan, I'll say 2 sales in the cash column. Please bolo na, bolo na, bolo na, bolo na, bolo na, bolo na. 175. He pays into his bank, including check received on 15th and 20th. I am expecting the answer. Be slow and steadily and let me know. So you received a check on 15th and 20th. How much you have received a check? 1000. Okay, no, sorry, he pays into the bank, receives not, paid. So how much you have paid? 1000. Those who are having the query, I am again solving it. You don't have to compare how much I have received and how much I am depositing. Come on, I can deposit it from my personal cash also, or whatever is the cash I have collected, yes or no? So you don't get into that. Whatever they are asking you, you do that. So what I am going to do? Considering 25th, I will write down where is the receipt coming, in the bank column or cash column? Where is the receipt, bank or cash? Bank. So in the bank column, can I not write down 1000? And the bank column, I have to write down the name of what? 2 cash. And year 25 January ko, I will write down by bank. And in the cash column, I have to write down, dear students, 1000. Happy? This is the contra entry. Very good, Bitu. Can we go ahead and talk about the next? He pays by check for cash purchase. Now some of the students think, sir, why they have used the word cash purchase? Arey hopeless chap, you tell me. Do you go and buy petrol? Yes. Have you ever bought it petrol? Yes. Diesel. So what do you give him? Cash, or sometimes you give debit card also? Both, no? Sometimes you give debit card or whatever. So he swipes the card or you make a Google Pay. So you tell me whether it was a cash transaction for that person. Yes, it is not a credit transaction. So when somebody is using that word cash purchase, he is saying that it is a ready payment transaction. Come on, understand. Cash purchase does not mean that the payment is made by cash. Cash purchase in the olden days, when there was only one mean to make the payment, was cash. So then they said that it is not a credit transaction, it is a cash transaction. But nowadays you can make the payment very fast. You can make through the bank also. So what they are saying is, he pays by check for cash purchase. So it is actually a cash purchase only, right? So purchase to bank. So some of the students were getting confused. No, sir, payment should be in cash, no, because they are using the word cash. No, they are just saying that we purchased goods and we paid immediately. That's what it means. It was not a credit transaction. But we paid with cash or check. Check, they have clearly used the word. Yes or no? So the cash purchases does not denote that you have paid cash. Clearly they are saying that they have paid by check. Now your next question is, why they have used the word cash purchase then? They have used the word cash purchase so that they denote you that the payment was made immediately. It was not a credit transaction. That's the only meaning. Happy? So what do I write down? Date. 27 Jan. What do I write down? Buy. Buy purchases. Which column? Bank column. How much do I write down? 275. He pays sundry expenses in cash. What date? 30th Jan. Buy sundry expenses. Which column? Cash. Where do I write down? Cash column. 50. Yes. Please calculate the balance, boys and girls. So I've got 20,000 plus 600 plus 450 plus 175 minus 19,000 minus 600 minus 1,000 minus 50, and the answer is buy balance carried down 38 Jan. Buy balance carried down. When you write down the closing balance, you use the word CD, C, closing C, and then 19,000 600 475 plus 1,000 minus 330 minus 275 minus nothing, 20,470. Do you all agree? Oh, sorry. Sahi mein aa gaya na closing balance. And then discount account, do you balance it or you just merely total and keep it? So I'll just take up the total 35. And what is the total here? 20. Happy? So you write down the total 35 and 20. Happy? Okay, don't tell me happy or not. Happy? Yeah. So with this, you just, अगर हो सके तो स्टाइल चेंज कर. कभी बाहर रास्ते में बोल दिया ना, मतलब जेन्युइनली प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. आजकल लोग पीछा कर रहे हैं. Question number 3 is done. Are we now ready to go ahead? I want to give you one question as an homework. Shall I? Yes. सो नहीं तो भी मैं पूछ नहीं रहा था, बता ही रहा था. Question number 24. Question number 24. It was asked in RTP May 20. Question number 24. Question number 1, RTP May 21, additional question. Additional question. Additional question is on the page number 31. Okay. Now please come down to the illustration number 5. Draw the format. Illustration number 5, draw the format. We are there on page number 15. Are we there on page number 15? So I'll write down cash book. This is question number 5, page number 15. I'll write down cash book. Draw the format. Cash bank discount. Oh yaar. डेटवा, डेट, receipts, cash, bank, discount. Similarly, I'll have something called as date, payment. I'll have cash, bank and discount. Is that okay, Pillu? Draw the format. It is 2:15. I am expected to take until when? 2:15. नहीं लूँगा, ज़्यादा लूँगा. Are we ready? Yes. Now listen to me. Come down to the question number 5. Come down to the question number 5. Read it. Okay. So, what you have to do, understand. You need to make the entries. First you tell me, read the first line. What does it say? Cash in hand. So, cash in hand has got which balance? Debit balance. So, where will I write down? Debit or credit side? Debit side. Bank OD has got which balance? I am not getting. Credit balance. So, which side I am going to write down? Credit side. Okay. So, can I not write down in the date column? March 1, 1st March. To balance brought down. I will write in the cash column. 15,000. And my dear friends, 1st March, I will write down by balance brought down. How much? 500 in the bank column. Now, I am not going ahead, point forward this. I have just asked you to make this column so that tomorrow when I come, I will see that this should not be blank. You can commit mistakes. You can commit mistakes. But if you are ready to solve a question, only then you will get to know what are your mistakes. So, what all it has got? It has got endorsement. So, I will teach you one very big lesson in this. In the exam, sometimes the problem would be tough. In that case, you should start solving it. So, this question would be tough, you will not be able to solve it completely maybe. But you should start solving it, and wherever you get stuck up, you will only lose marks for that. But for others, you will get the marks. So, I always believe in doing the things, in progressing the things. If it is slow, it's okay. I am ready with the bottlenecks. I am ready, I am okay with the problems. Problems I can solve. But निकम्मों को सुधार नहीं सकते. You know, the one who are lazy, I cannot take care of them. So I want you not to be lazy. I want you to work on that. That's the reason sometimes what I'll do is, I'll make you believe that we are solving a problem. I will not solve it. I'll just create a format and the next day I'll go and check if you have solved it or not. So you're going to solve this problem tomorrow. Tomorrow this chapter will be over. Please ask your friends that do not miss tomorrow's and day after tomorrow's lecture, because we'll start with something which will now start coming in the exam compulsorily. We are going to start with BRS. And whatever you have studied in your 11th, 12th BRS, for God's sake, that was a different stuff and this is a different stuff. ठीक है, चलो प्यार से बाय बाय बोलो. बाय बाय.